What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? I want to welcome you all into another episode of the Philly Faithful Podcast, your one stop shop for daily news, updates, and opinions on your Philadelphia Phillies. My name is Troy. I am your host. You can find me on socials at Troy B Baseball. You can find the show on socials at Philly Faith Pod, faith spelled just like the podcast. And if you're listening on Spotify or iTunes, make sure you give us a 5-star rating so the show can be pushed out to more Phillies fans just like you. And if you're watching on YouTube, like, comment, subscribe. That way you could be notified when new episodes just like this one go live. And it is another day. The Philadelphia Phillies have another chance at victory after the heartbreaking loss last night. If you listen to the instant reaction, you know how I feel about that game. But if you didn't listen to the instant reaction and you didn't watch the game, well, we're about to recap it a little bit with a little bit more of a calm view on it than what was had last night in the instant reaction because, well, I've slept since then. Not great, but I've slept since then. And in yesterday's game, the Phillies had a 1-0 lead through 7 innings. Kyle Schwarber hit a leadoff home run in his first postseason plate appearance of 2024. It was fantastic. It was Kyle Schwarber doing what Kyle Schwarber does, and that gave the Phillies a 1-0 lead, and that held through 7 innings until Rob Thompson blew the lead in the 8th when he went to Jeff Hoffman first out of the bullpen. And the Mets scored 5 runs in the 8th. They scored another one in the 9th to take a 6-1 lead before the Phillies would score a pointless run in the bottom of the 9th to make it 6-2. The offense just did not show up in yesterday's game. The offense went 5 for 32. They did draw 5 walks, and 3 of their 5 hits were extra base hits, including that Kyle Schwarber home run. But they just didn't show up yesterday. And you can't blame it on the layoff because that's not a thing anymore. Blaming it on the layoff isn't a thing anymore. I want to say the other 3 teams that had the layoff all won yesterday and all put up big numbers on offense. So it's not the layoff. And no one can blame the layoff anymore because teams don't struggle after the layoff anymore. Wheeler was fantastic in yesterday's game, just absolutely fantastic. It was one of the best games he has pitched in his career. He went 7 innings scoreless. He did get his pitch cut up a little too high. I don't like to see the 111 pitches on the pitch count. That's not really a good sign leading into his next start. Could come back to hurt the Phillies leading into his next start, but he was fantastic. He had 30 whiffs on his 111 pitches. That's an insane amount. It is the 3rd highest amount in a postseason game since pitch tracking in 2008 began, behind only Tim Lincecum and Garrett Cole. Tim Lincecum had 31 and Garrett Cole had 33. Shout out to Christian Rao from the Daily National Pod, first pitch for that stat. And he was just fantastic. 1 hit allowed in the 7 innings, 3, maybe 4 walks. I still don't remember exactly, but he probably stayed in an inning too long. Probably should have came out after the 6th, but it worked out. He went the 7th, still didn't allow any runs before the bullpen came in, and that was that. But like I said, it is a new day today. The Philadelphia Phillies have another shot at victory in the National League Division Series in Game 2 of this series with the New York Mets, and it's going to be Luis Severino at Christopher Sanchez. Game, once again, is 4:08 p.m. Eastern time, so same sun, same shadows, unless it's cloudy up there in Philadelphia. Today's game, with it being Sunday, there's the NFL is underway, so can't be on Big Fox. Today's game is going to be on FS1, just like the other game today, the Padres and Dodgers. They'll also be on FS1 at the end of the Phillies and Mets. But the Phillies faced Severino twice this season. He pitched 12 innings in his 2 starts against the Phillies. Has a 4.50 ERA in those starts, 12 strikeouts, a 0.917 whip. And he held the Phillies to a triple slash of 186, 239, 395. That's a 634 OPS, and that's across 46 plate appearances. And the Phillies have had some mixed levels of success against Luis Severino throughout their career, and in facing him, designated hitter Kyle Schwarber I'm going to go through the lineup here in what I expect to be the lineup once again. It was the lineup yesterday, and I expect it again to be the lineup once again. Designated hitter Kyle Schwarber went 3 for 10 against Severino in his career so far. 3 strikeouts, no walks, a 300, 300, 500 triple slash. Trey Turner, shortstop, 1 for 5 against Severino. 2 strikeouts, 1 walk, a 200, 333, 800 triple slash. First baseman Bryce Harper, 2 for 5, 1 strikeout, 1 walk, a 400, 500, 1.600 slug for his triple slash, which does, if you're keeping score at home, give him a OPS of 2.100 against Luis Severino. So the top 3 guys in the lineup, while they've only got 20 at bats against Severino in their careers combined, they have gone 6 for 20 with 6 strikeouts, 2 walks, and a pretty good triple slash against the righty. Third baseman Alec Bohm. I lied. This was not the lineup that they had yesterday. Castellanos hit fourth, but Alec Bohm should be hitting fourth. And third baseman Alec Bohm went 0 for 3 against Severino in his career. 2 strikeouts, no walks, no triple slash to speak of. Right fielder Nick Castellanos has gone 7 for 21. He has faced Luis Severino the most out of all the Phillies everyday starters. 4 strikeouts, 1 walk, a 333, 364, 333 triple slash. Second baseman Bryson Stott has gone 1 for 5 against Severino, 1 strikeout, no walks, a 200s across the board for his triple slash. Doing the catching as usual. You can expect to see him catching every day in the playoffs, however long that may be. JT Realmuto, 0 for 3, 1 strikeout, 1 walk, a 0 batting average, 250 on base percentage, 0 slug against Severino. Left fielder Brandon Marsh has gone 1 for 4 against Severino, 1 strikeout, no walks, 250s across the board for his triple slash. And Johan Rojas has not faced Luis Severino in his career. So, pretty mixed bag of success against Severino on the individual level. Hopefully, they can have a little more success against Severino than they did against the Mets pitching in yesterday's ball game, because that was just not good, and they need to show up and get a good slew of runs on the board if they want to win this game and not go to New York on Tuesday with a 2-0 deficit in the series standings. Starting for your Philadelphia Phillies will be lefty Christopher Sanchez. He got the nod for Game 2 strictly because of his home road splits, which we talked about yesterday. Was Rob Thompson making a good decision for once? This season, he made 3 starts against the Mets, going 17 2/3 innings. He has a 3.06 ERA in those starts, struck out 19 batters, a 1.415 whip. Whip's not good. Don't like that whip. And the triple slash against him for the Mets is 242, 333, 409 for a 742 OPS and 76 plate appearances. So not really all that great this season against the Mets. ERA looks good. The whip and the triple slash do not. And it's a decent sample size of almost 100 plate appearances. And we're just going off the lineup that they fielded last night. Will probably be different with Sanchez being a lefty last night. Zach Wheeler obviously is a righty. But the lineup they fielded last night, shortstop Francisco Lindor, 3 for 9 against Sanchez in his career. No extra base hits, no strikeouts, 2 walks. A 333, 500, 333 triple slash. Third baseman Mark Vientos, 0 for 7, no extra base hits, 6 strikeouts, 2 walks. No batting average, a 222 on base percentage, and no slug for Vientos against Sanchez. Left fielder Brandon Nimmo, 4 for 13, no extra base hits, 3 strikeouts, 1 walk, 308, 400, 308 triple slash. First baseman Pete Alonso, 4 for 18, 2 extra base hits, 7 strikeouts, no walks, 222, 222, 444 triple slash. Second baseman Jose Iglesias, 3 for 6, 2 extra base hits, 1 strikeout, no walks, 500, 500, 1.167 triple slash for Iglesias. Jesse Winker, 0 for 6, 2 strikeouts, no walks, zeros across the board. Right fielder Starling Marte, 4 for 11, 2 extra base hits, 2 strikeouts, 1 walk, a 364, 417, 727 triple slash. Center fielder Tyrone Taylor, 1 for 5, 1 extra base hit, 1 strikeout, no walks, 200, 200, 800 triple slash. And finally, catching Francisco Alvarez, 0 for 4, 2 strikeouts, no walks, zeros across the board. So you got a couple guys with zeros across the board. You got one guy with a 0 in the batting average in the slug department, but a 222 in the on-base percentage department. So not the best, but also not the worst. Obviously, Christopher Sanchez is no Zach Wheeler, so shouldn't really expect Christopher Sanchez to perform like Zach Wheeler did yesterday. But Christopher Sanchez is a good pitcher, and he's very good at Citizens Bank Park. The first inning, maybe the first 2 innings are going to be very telling of how Christopher Sanchez is going to perform today. If he has his ground ball stuff working, that is good. If he is working for more ground balls instead of strikeouts, that is good, because he really is not a strikeout pitcher. He is a ground ball pitcher, and when he works to the ground balls, his stuff plays up much better than it does when he's trying to do too much and trying to rack up the strikeouts. And the first 2 innings is going to be very telling of that, because when he is trying to get the strikeouts, he is very wild. His command is not there, his control is not there, and he's done after the first inning or 2. He's done if he's not working to get the ground balls. If he's working to get the ground balls, his pitches are pinpoint accurate. Where he wants them to go, they go. They listen to him. He commands them the way that he knows he can. He just needs to work for the ground balls and not try to do too much. Let the defense work behind you. The defense was fine yesterday, except for one play with Bryson Stott in the 8th inning, where he questionably bobbled a throwdown from JT Realmuto. It was questionable. It was close, but can't do nothing about it now. And hopefully in today's game, the umpire strike zone is a little more consistent. The umpire in yesterday's game, and I'm not blaming the loss on that by any means, but the umpire in yesterday's game strike zone was very inconsistent, and it was that way for both sides. So hopefully the umpire for today's game could be a little more consistent with his strike zone, call balls and strikes consistently, and that'll go a long way towards helping Christopher Sanchez as well. But Game 2 is today. I am looking forward to it. Hopefully the Phillies can get into the win column and push the series back even at 1 win apiece, as there is no game tomorrow, and the next game after today is in New York on Tuesday. But until then, this has been the Philly Faithful Podcast, your daily one-stop shop for daily news, updates, and opinions on your Philadelphia Phillies. Make sure, if you're listening on Spotify or iTunes, leave us a 5-star rating so this show could be pushed out to more Phillies fans just like you. If you're watching on YouTube, give us a like, give us a comment, and subscribe so you can be notified when more episodes just like this one go live. And until that next episode just like this one goes live, I've been Troy. You've been awesome. Peace, love, and rock and roll. I'm out. Bye.